Hi, today is Tuesday, November 17th, 2020. This is Tim Davis. I'm a certified financial planner and managing director at the Davis Executive Wealth Management Group at Stewart Partners in Boston. Wanted to bring you up to speed on a few things since we last spoke. And of course, the big news is the results of the election in the United States, which, as expected, put Joe Biden on top and who will be our next president. And also, in the last couple of weeks, last week and this week, we got news from Pfizer and Moderna regarding their vaccine treatments. So first with the presidential election and what that means for the market, and a few comments on what has happened since then in the market. So it really came no surprise to us that Joe Biden was the winner. If there was any surprise, it was actually the resiliency of the Republicans to at least hold on to a possible tie in the Senate and even keep their Senate majority depending on the results of a runoff in Georgia. So we put the odds of about 75% that the Republicans will win at least one of the seats in Georgia. There are two seats, which is a rare twin runoff. But you can bet that it will be a close one and it will be very hotly contested. So we will not know the results of the Senate until the beginning of January, but at the very least, it would be a tie for the Democrats or a possibly 1 or 2 seat majority for the Republicans. And that is exactly why we saw the market reaction that we did, on the heels of the election. And that is that we're going to still have a divided government. We did not have this blue wave that was projected. If the Democrats had, say, a 3 or 4 seat majority in the Senate, that would have made any agenda that the Biden administration wants almost unchecked. And at the very least, you have a tie. So you will have a little bit more of a compromised government or divided government. And that is always good for the market because from a market perspective, that means more of the same. So moving on to the vaccine, we got the first bit of unbelievably good news from Pfizer last week regarding their vaccine at about a 90% efficacy. And then we got Moderna's news yesterday regarding their 94.5% efficacy. And really what that means, I think a lot of these terms get thrown around a lot. It's between 90 and 95% effective. And to put that in perspective, some of the most critically acclaimed vaccines that are out there in the last 100 years are the measles and polio vaccines. And those were 97% plus effective. So to get this type of effective vaccine, your first go around is really quite remarkable. And these vaccines use a biotechnology called messenger RNA. And it is worth kind of looking up what messenger RNA is and how it works. But it is a huge leap forward in medical science, and it is a huge sigh of relief to the world that we're going to finally have something that can knock COVID out. Hopefully, again, just as a reminder, COVID is never going to go away. Just like the past viruses and outbreaks that we've had, you just get herd immunity, which is 60 to 70% plus of the population is affected from the vaccine. From the virus, and therefore it just doesn't have the lethality that it does at the beginning, and that is what the vaccine hopes to do is accelerate that herd immunity. So what does that mean for 2021 and beyond? It means that most likely, beginning next summer, if everything goes according to schedule, you could see a return to normal. Doesn't mean we're going back to the way things were, but it means that people will go to restaurants, people will go to concerts, people will go to baseball games, football games, and you could see a surge in the economy in a big way, especially on the second half of next year. Goldman Sachs recently put out a report that forecasted GDP growth next year at 5.3%, a 4,300 target on the S&P by year end next year, and 4,600 for the end of 22. And depending on how things play out, that actually could be a conservative estimate. And we can't say how important it is that once we move beyond the the economic effects of the coronavirus and COVID-19, that things are going to accelerate and probably accelerate rapidly. I know that's very difficult to imagine with the holidays coming up and various states and cities putting on some pretty stringent lockdowns again. But if you look beyond, say January and February and into the spring, it really does look much better. So we're looking forward to having a somewhat return to normal, and certainly for all of us, health-wise as well as economically, it would be a great benefit for the society as a whole to return to normal as soon as we can, as soon as it's safe. So we're optimistic on the outlook. We're optimistic on especially the second half of 2021 and into 22. And if anybody would like to have a further discussion about that, I'd be happy to talk to you over email or phone at any point that you'd wish to have that conversation. So thanks again for everybody for listening to these videos. We appreciate your time and attention, and we hope to see you again real soon. Thanks. Bye.